It has gotten really cold in the last couple of days, and we're expecting it to get even colder. You might be able to see behind me, maybe not, but there's frost on the ground. It's getting to be a pretty regular thing. Our water jugs that are outside are starting to freeze every night. So today's project, before winter starts and kicks off, really hardcore snow and stuff, I'm going to take that bunk of lumber and turn it into a little generator house. Toby, the struggle's real, isn't it? Let's see if we can get you some real water. Get to lick that icicle. So the basic plan is going to be to just create a box around the generator, and then we'll put a taller leg on the front and then shorter legs on the back, and just slope it so all the snow and rain and moisture goes off behind the generator. So I have to be kind of careful when I do this. These are some beams that we took out of an old stable. We tried to de-nail everything, but as you can see, we didn't exactly get them all. So I have to be careful when I'm cutting. But this beam is going to be my bottom beam. So I'll cut my dimensions out of this for the base if I can get it all out of this one. If not, then I'll have to get another one, but I have plenty. I think I have figured out I'm going to do 30 on the sides and 54 inches on the front and the back. So I'll get those cut out quick. These ought to do the trick for those nails. I have about 118 inches to work with on this one particular beam after cutting off the kind of jagged rough ends that aren't really usable. So with that being said, I've got 54 and 54 for the front and the back. That's going to put me at 108. So this should be enough for the front and the back, and then I'll have to get another beam for the sides. And before you guys get mad at me for cutting up some kind of historical wood that's in great shape and worth a bunch of money to build a generator house with, I'm just going to tell you that this stuff is not the greatest wood in the world. This needs to get me by for 1 year. So you can kind of look at the wood. It's pretty spongy and gross looking. It ought to work. Dang, are you okay? That's kind of the base of it. It's probably not going to be square when I build it in place, but the ground's not level, so it should work though. When determining the height for this thing on the opening end, I have to take into account that I may need to fill this thing with fuel on the top. So I'm gonna have to come up with a height that is going to accommodate my fuel can. Even though we are running off propane, it's nice if that runs out to still be able to fuel with gasoline if we need to. So I think I'm gonna go with 4 feet. That'll get it way up here. Should be plenty of room to get a gas can in and get it turned. So my opening end will be 4 feet tall. One potential problem that I'm gonna have that I'm just realizing is this thing has something called CO alert. And if it detects the buildup of exhaust, then it'll just shut it down. So what I'm gonna have to do is find a way to get this wall here closer to that exhaust. And then what that'll allow me to do is cut a hole in the wall and then move the exhaust close to that hole so the exhaust goes out of this little housing instead of building up inside of it. Now my other problem is my fuel line is only so long, so I can't just move it over. I'm gonna have to move bricks to the other side and kind of play with the position of the generator to make it all work. Boy, I sure do feel sorry for you guys that have to work in these messy, overcrowded shops. Change of plan. So what I'm going to do is I am going to shorten the whole thing by one of these blocks, one row of blocks. And then that should allow me to move this closer and not interfere with the edge of the tank and not have to move every block. So now that I found my drill and drill bits, I'm going to start drilling, just drilling them out and putting some screws in to hold the base together. The lower support's up. So now what I'm going to do is, I know I'm going to have a sloped roof and I just left me enough here to cut off. So I'm going to attach a board from that corner to that corner and that corner to that corner, kind of lower. And then I'll come back and I'll bring something across these points once I determine what I want my slope to be. So once I found my angle on that side, I went ahead and measured and popped a chalk line. And I'll just cut those out. This YouTube video has been filmed in front of a live audience. The support braces are up on the front and the back. My angles are cut. My overhang has been accounted for on the left and right side. So now I'm just going to be cutting these longer, like 1x12s, I think they are. Unplaned, old school lumber here, but it's, let's see what it is. It is a true 1x12. So I'm going to cut these down. These aren't in any better shape, so they're kind of spongy. I don't know if they're going to hold together all winter or not, but this is going to make up the top, and then I'll put 10 over the top of this. Here we go. Okay, the board's cut for the top. I chose 5 feet, so I've got, pretty good overhang in the back and a pretty good overhang in the front. Still gives me room to get in and put some gas in it. I also ended up having to raise it up on blocks because I thought about it. I got to change the oil in this thing. I need to get something up underneath it to drain the oil into. So I put it up on some blocks, and I think I have enough room in there to slide some kind of catchment apparatus for the old drain into. All right, now all I gotta do is go through and sink some 3-inch screws through these and down into the support boards, and then we'll be looking for 10. Well, there it is. It's got the top on it. You know, is it beautiful? No. Is it square? No. Is it plumb? No, probably not. Will it protect the generator? Yes. Do I have 10 to go on the roof? I don't know. We're gonna go see. Our 10 pile is kind of a mixed bag of different things. Some left over from building the shed house. Some that we just kind of found. If I use something, thinking maybe that galvanized stuff right there, I'm gonna measure it and see what it measures out to be. If it's not just a shade over 5 feet, then I'm probably just gonna forego the 10, just because I really don't want to cut this stuff. It's loud, it puts metal shavings everywhere. Just not a fan of cutting it. So if that fits, I'm gonna put it on. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna leave it as a wooden topped, you know, leave it with the wooden top on it. Well, that's measuring out at 6 feet. I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. So the last test of this thing. That's good. It only holds a quart, so as long as I can get it out without tipping it too much, we'll be good to go. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna call that the end of this one. There you have it, folks, a generator house. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hey, if you enjoy the misadventures of homesteading, then maybe like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you'd be notified when I release new stuff. That's not very often, but I'm trying to get better at it. Have a good day. I love you guys. God bless. Come on, I just want to pet you. No? Nobody?